So welcome in another episode. Today we have a fun bike. It's the Suzuki DR800S. As you can see, it's partly disassembled. That's how it came to me. The customer brought the bike like this on a trailer with some latex gloves on the intake. I have a carburetors to be rebuilt. I have a fuel tank to be mounted, and then we're gonna have to do some work on the brake, because as you can see, it's missing a brake pump. There is a new wire, new hose that needs to be filled up with the brake fluid and bled. The same with the back, we're gonna have to fix because there is no brakes on the bike at all. We have to adjust the decompressor wire because it's kind of loose. And then we're gonna try to start the bike, see if it runs, make sure that the brakes are working, all the lights and everything is working. The bike is gonna have to be 100% ready for the customer when he picks it up, because he's gonna pick it up and just drive on it. So let's get to work. We're gonna start with rebuilding a carburetor with the special set. There's a set of jets. We're gonna install all of the new jets and the gasket and little screws into the carbs. Then we're gonna wash them, assemble them. I mean, we're gonna wash them first, then we're gonna install all the parts, and then we're gonna assemble them together, put them on the bike, make the bike run, synchronize them. As we go, we're gonna see if the bike needs anything more. But this is a fun bike. I'm really looking forward to test driving this bike. I have a permission from the owner to make a longer test drive than usual in order to be sure that everything works for him when he picks it up. Fully charged battery going straight into the bike, just like that. And now we're gonna connect it and see if the bike. Battery, you always connect the plus, the red one, the positive first. Why? It doesn't matter which tool you use. Is it socket, is it flat, or is it screwdriver? When you're operating with those bolts that connect the battery, when you touch to the frame, nothing happens because there is no connection between the minus, the negative, the black one, and the frame. So that's why you always connect the red one first, which is a plus, and then you connect the negative, which is a minus or a black. Unless you have a Chinese motorcycle, like some of the Changyang motorcycles. I'm heading outside. I don't know why, but the red for them, it's ground, it's negative, it's minus. So don't get fooled. I've seen a lot, especially in the Changyang motorcycles and older Chinese bikes. When the red is negative, I've seen people mess this up here in Europe. So pay attention, it's very easy. So, after a little bit of looking, I found out that there was a bad connection here on the ground cable, and the relay didn't get the ground. It was getting 12 volts plus, but it didn't have a ground. So as soon as I start to jiggle with that one, the bike turns. So we're gonna clean this one properly so it's nice and connected as it should be. Yeah, there's a dust and a little bit of green corrosion inside. We're gonna use some electrical spray, and this one gonna be good to go. The next thing we're gonna do now is connect the brake pump on the front, and bleed both of the braking systems, front and back. So here are all the parts. Carbs came straight from the ultrasonic wash. If you don't have ultrasonic wash, you're a loser and you're never gonna achieve anything in your life. No, I'm just kidding. I've been working without ultrasonic washer for the last 15 years. I just recently got the one, and if you have one carburetor on your bike to clean, or two, you can clean it manually. If you do this very often like I do, it just makes your work quicker and your life a little bit easier. So it's not necessary, but it's nice to have. I've been cleaning carburetors for the last 15 years with the brushes and jets and compressed air, and it was no problem. The ultrasonic wash just made my work a little bit easier. But it's not necessary. I was joking, of course. So now we're gonna assemble them. I'm not gonna bore you with all what goes where and why. Well, you can find another video that explains all this, probably 1.5 hours long, just about how to assemble this one carburetor. I'm making video for more of entertainment purposes, so you're gonna see me very quickly put them together, and then we're gonna drop them into the bike. Sometimes when you buy this repair kit, like here, some things are different, like for example those chokes, they're not existing on that carburetors. It's a different type. Needle, the main needle, are much shorter, so we're not going to change them. And also those fuel air mixture screws they look almost the same, but if you look at them very carefully, you can see they're a little bit different on the ends, which means this one is a different angle. And when you try to seat them, when you screw them in, they're supposed to go and go and go like here, and suddenly they're supposed to stop. You're not supposed to apply a force on it, but they're supposed to stop suddenly. I try with that one, it stops, and then it's still possible to turn it like a 1.25 turn more in, so it doesn't stop, which means the angle here is different and it doesn't sit with the carburetor body as it's supposed to be. So just clean the old one and use them. If you don't have exactly the same one, you can reuse the old one if they're not broken. And when they stop very quickly, that means they sit correctly, and then you can adjust it. If they don't stop quickly or they're kind of spongy and soft, do not use them. Better to use the old one. Or if you cannot use the old one, you don't have it or it's broken, you have to get the right one. You cannot just use any that looks the same. So the carbs are here, they're ready, nice and clean, lots of new jets and new screws. We're gonna put them into the bike, start the bike, and synchronize them while the bike is running. Is it fun to be a mechanic? No, it's not. Because everybody expects you to fix absolutely everything, especially if you're a good mechanic. You cannot say no. You just have to fix it because they know you can. So the carburetors are in now. Now I'm going to mount the fuel tanks back. Yes, fuel tanks, there's two. This is almost like Yamaha Tenere work rate with two fuel tanks, separate fuel tanks connected by the wire hose. So now I'm going to mount them. I'm going to put all new fuel hoses, new fuel filter. Spark plugs are new, two spark plugs. Yes, it has two spark plugs, only one cylinder, two carburetors, only one exhaust, sadly. So now I'm going to assemble everything back as it's supposed to be, and we're going to hit the road. So my thoughts about the Dr. Big DR800. Big engine, old engine, heavy bike. Yeah, it was something 20 years ago. If you want to have it just because you like the looks of it and you want to have something retro a little bit, yes, you can own it. But if you want to use it as an everyday bike, if that's your only bike, if that's the bike for you, I'm not recommending that. There are much better bikes to be used every day, to be used harder, faster, better, cheaper. It's a little bit special. I like the looks of it, and I wish to own it just because it would be a nice part of the collection. But I don't think I can live with this as my only bike or my everyday bike. So the bike is going back to the customer now, and thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.